Welcome everyone to another episode of On the Couch as we celebrate 10-year anniversary. We couldn't have done it without you. We are now, I believe, the longest running talk show for the queer community on anywhere on any broadcaster in the history of Canada. 10 years is pretty iconic. And speaking of iconic, I promised you this year we're going to celebrate by bringing on the trailblazers, the originals, the icons, the legends, and it can't get more legendary than my guest today. Carole Pope is on the show today. Carole is an agent provocateur pushing the boundaries of sexuality, sexual politics, and the status quo, making you think and dance at the same time. Her work has been recognized with 3 Juno Awards, multiple Independent Music Awards, a Genie Award for Gold, 1 Platinum, and 1 Double Platinum album. That's quite an accomplishment. Please help me welcome the one and only Carole Pope. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome to the show.
Oh, great to be here.
Coming to us from LA, from her new home in LA. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. But I wanted to get going with a little bit look at what project are you working on currently? What do you have in the works?
I'm working on a new album, so I'm just mixing some stuff right now. It's
Okay.
going to be more music for lesbians, a thing that I did a few years ago.
Cool. We like
Um,
that.
yeah. So yeah, doing that, and
A solo album or collaborating?
it's a solo album. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to sing with anybody else, but maybe we'll see.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. I know you're working on a documentary, or they're working on a documentary about you. What is that about?
It's about me. It's
I know. Produced by
producers
who? I meant, yeah.
producers by Michelle Mama at Gay Agenda. It's just about my life.
Oh, cool.
I think it's based on my book, Anti-Diva. It's loosely
Okay.
based on that. So they're just following me around and annoying me in general and talking to people I know, like
Are these
documentary talk.
documentaries? I can imagine for any artist who had to have a camera crew follow them everywhere and to document their life.
I know, and then sometimes you're like trashing somebody and you forget you've got a
Get
mic
out
in
of
your
the camera.
butt.
Very cool. We are going to take actually a quick break before we get really going with the juicy conversation, and we will be right back, so don't go anywhere. And welcome back to the show. Today we have the one and only, the legend, Carole Pope. Carole, what keeps you going? What gets you up in the morning? What keeps you going with this music crazy thing?
Well, there's always something to write about. It's music is my outlet, so the world is so insane. There's just a wealth of material, that's a never-ending wealth of material.
That's beautifully said. I like that. Let's take a journey down memory lane and look at you were born in UK, I just discovered today,
Yeah,
and then moved to Montreal
yeah,
before moving to Scarborough.
yeah.
Any memories of those days?
Going to public school and high school and just feeling weird because
And that was in
uh,
Scarborough.
we moved so much. My father was bipolar and we moved a lot. So I went to so many high schools because we also moved to British Columbia during that time, during my school years. I met some crazy people,
Uh,
got very interested in music and art, and that kind of sustained me through all that insanity.
that was what going to my question. What got you to fall in love with music?
Well, my mother
Uh,
was in English music hall
oh, cool.
when she was, I guess, I don't know, no, I guess in her 20s or her teens or something.
Okay.
So she always uh, played a lot of music and sang and took me to movies and took me to the theater and it was just there, you know, it's just like, I
Okay.
want to be a singer, secret. I was a closeted singer.
Okay. I guess we get inspired by influences of our parents or stuff before us. Um, your experience in high school, is that at all related to High School Confidential?
Not really, although Craig Russell did go to my high school, and
Oh, really?
I had never seen
Cool.
anybody like that. I was like,
Okay.
I guess that's the first gay person I ever.
Yeah, Craig Russell is absolutely a legend in our community.
Yeah, and I didn't know. I mean, I'm like, I didn't. I'm not even sure what I knew a gay man looked like, but I knew he was gay.
Okay.
Um, and different, and just the way he walked around. But no, High School Confidential was actually Kevin and I were working on a movie called Cruising,
Uh-huh.
and I wrote that song, and Make DeVille was working on the soundtrack, and I like, oh, he could sing this song.
Okay.
It was really about drag queens and things like that, because Cruising was about an undercover cop trying to catch
Yeah.
a gay serial killer. So I wrote that for Mink, and then they were like, no, this is too literal, we're not going to use it. And then I'm like, I'm going to do it. So that's how that happened.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know the movie is controversial, but I have a huge library of queer movies, and definitely I include it in there because of the controversy that it caused. I never thought I never knew it related to you writing the song.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, cool, cool, cool. That's good trivia. Well, then, what I'd like to do on the show sometimes is for those who don't know our community and those who are in our community or younger, I like to kind of educate them on kind of the journey. So let's look at your journey. First, you met Kevin Staples,
Yeah.
and you guys met, I believe, in Scarborough. Is that what I read?
No, that's not right. We met at a band audition
Okay,
in Toronto,
okay,
and the band never happened. It was like some trippy hippie thing.
okay.
But we really connected, and we just, you
Clicked.
know, we clicked, and I kind of turned him on to my taste in music, because he
Okay,
was mostly listening to movie soundtracks, I think,
okay.
and esoteric stuff. And I'm like, listen to this R&B, listen to this blah, blah, blah. But he also was a roadie for a band in the 60s. But anyway, yeah, we clicked, and we started a band called O, which didn't never played anywhere.
I remember I remember the name, and then it changed to something else.
The Bulwark Brothers,
Yeah.
and then and then Rough Trade.
And then Rough Trade. Rough Trade, you brought on other musicians at the time, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
eventually we did, yeah.
and I believe you and Kevin first used to sing. And by the way, everyone, Yorkville was apparently the party center of Toronto back in the days before Queen and King. And apparently you used to perform in Yorkville a bit for a while.
I don't even know if we did perform in Yorkville, but that's where we hung out. But
That's
yeah,
it.
Yorkville was amazing, and now it's like a nightmare.
Yeah, really? Okay.
It
I
was like,
that was
it's,
before my time here in Toronto. I got here in '89, so I guess that was before that.
well, yeah, and they tore everything down. Like they tore all the landmark clubs, and
Really?
a
Okay.
lot of really famous musicians.
And they made it into the fancy area.
Yeah, but it's like a hideously looking fancy area. I mean,
Thank you.
yeah,
I agree. I miss the days of it being like old days.
yeah,
And then you guys got on with Rough Trade, and you did your first album was Rough Trade Live. Uh,
yeah.
and then you started recording with other people while still with Rough Trade. I read Maury McLaughlin. I read you wrote with Nona Hendrix.
Oh, yeah, no, that Rough Trade was still happening then, but we wrote some of Nona's songs, one of which is in that new Kristen Stewart movie, Love Lies Bleeding, which is
Okay.
premiering this week at Sundance, I
Oh,
think.
cool.
That's very exciting, yeah.
Oh, cool, cool. All right. You worked also with Paul Hyde.
Oh, yeah, yeah, we sang a
Is that
duet,
cool?
a
And
breeder
then,
duet.
yeah, on what song again? My
Never
brilliant
said I,
career.
never said I loved you.
Oh, okay, cool. What is the My Brilliant Career? You did a duet on that too, did you?
Did I?
Uh, oh, this is what they're saying. She would team up again with Payola's founder Paul High to sing the duet "My Brilliant Career"
Oh, okay,
on
maybe, oh,
his
yeah,
album "Living Off." So yeah, you were very busy back then,
yeah,
back at the time. And then Rough Trade kind of disbanded.
yeah.
Okay, but you guys came together a number of times for reunions and lately the musical. Uh,
Oh, yeah, yeah, we're still together, we're still doing gigs. And yes, I wrote a musical called Rough Trade the Musical with my friend Kate Rigg in New York.
uh-huh.
And it's takes place in the 80s and it's based on my brother's life, but there's a me in it, there's a younger me in it.
Okay.
Um, and there's a lot of Rough Trade music, and we're just trying to find producers. It's
Oh,
really hard.
you haven't took it further yet. I know you performed it, or did you?
Oh, we did a workshop in New
Which,
York, and we'd
okay,
like to do another one in New York, and but we're ready to go. We're basically ready to go. We just need
ready to
producers in
roll. Okay, all
Canada.
right. There you go, producers. Anybody listening? Hook up with Carol. What keeps drawing you back together? The Rough Trade group.
Oh, it's just a fun thing to do,
Yeah.
every once in a while.
Okay. And
Um,
but you enjoy your solo.
I do enjoy my solo work.
What is the dynamics between working solo and working with others? What do you prefer, or do you prefer?
Well, I'm still working with people. I'm just not doing Rough Trade music per se. I mean, I do perform some Rough Trade music, but um, Rough Trade is more work because, I have to like flash my voice back to the 80s.
And
Um,
speaking of, I was wondering what to wear for for an interview with Carole Pope, and I went, you have to wear leather, but apparently you're not wearing.
I'm wearing a Rough Trade t-shirt.
You're wearing your off trade t-shirt. There you go. uh, all right. So the next thing I want to chat about is your work with Peaches. This is on your website, so it made me laugh. I guess it's an article from some magazine, and opening line of this week: "Let's go into the forest and ministrate on a stick." And if you think the fun stops there, you don't know Pope. The rough trade refugee continues her hilariously provocative ways on this EP. If the campfire folk pop of Lesbians in the Forest featuring Peaches and the Bond theme Vagina Wolf don't do it for you, there's Smith's inspired glam and even an orchestrated Lee Hazelwood cover, something for everyone. Let's talk about working with Peaches. How did that collaboration happen?
My guitar player Tim and I were doing an acoustic show at the Flying Beaver, which
Okay.
and we were bored and we started making up this song, and then we went up on the stage and played it. And then and it turned into Lesbians in the Forest, and then I'm like, I'm gonna send this to Peaches to see if she wants to
What a cool story.
do a rap for it, and she did.
Okay.
And so that's how that
Have
ended
you known
up.
her before, or?
Yeah, I've
Okay.
met her before.
Okay. Okay. So and she jumped on it?
Yeah, she did, and
Yeah.
wrote this amazing rap. And then she called me one day and said, "Do you want to be on Transparent?" And I was like, "Yes." And then we went and did, filmed that song. We had to re-record it especially for the show, but we went and filmed Transparent in the middle of Tarzana for
Uh-huh.
the recreation of the Michigan Women's Festival, because that's what the song is about.
Uh, cool. Cool. That's a great bit of history there, everyone. Community then and now. What are your thoughts on our community back and when you started and now?
Well, when I was first trying to come out, there was no community.
Yeah, of course.
Um, but I ended up going to this bar called the Carriage House, this lesbian bar. And
I
that's
remember
where,
the name and historical documents, yeah.
yeah, and I met all these women. And so there's just a clique of us, and we all became friends and all slept with each other because everybody was so promiscuous back
That's how
then.
big our community was back then. You knew everybody or slept with everybody.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then the body politics started,
Yeah.
and Glad Day bookstore, and just more and more people came together.
Were you involved in the community? Were you on the ground back then?
Not so much, but I did, you know, I mean, I did know people who are more politically
Okay.
involved than I was, but I've always been political because I was right about.
I was going to say, there's no way that you can separate your music from being political or being an activist
Yeah,
in a sense.
exactly.
Did
So
you
that,
perform at any of the historical venues in our community back then?
well, buddies,
Okay.
what was there before
That's how
buddies?
you know, because I saw you and Sky talk a few times at the awards.
Yeah, that's how I met Sky
Sky Gilbert, by the way, everyone, that's what I'm talking
and
about.
Sarah Stanley. But before that, we did Pride. We played Toronto Pride. We played a few
Okay.
Prides. Uh, yeah, I've played a bazillion Prides all over North
Oh
America.
God, yeah.
So
Yeah, and I remember you from World Pride, which is a good segue to the next question. When Carol mentioned the awards, so Carol and I have a different relationship. As you may know, I'm the founder and president of the Inspire Awards in the community, and Carol first received the International Icon Award herself during World Pride, and one of our board came on stage and gave you the trophy. Is that correct?
yeah,
Yeah, so you performed World Pride, and I remember I was the marketing director for World Pride, and I was backstage, and you were about to go up, and somebody was running around and said, "Carol's about to go up. Carol's about to go up." So I remember your performance, and then you performed on the Inspire Awards during COVID when we did a virtual broadcast and honored Katie Lang. So you were on that show. And
right.
recently, only a couple of weeks ago, was it has been a couple of weeks? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Carol joined us in Toronto to award Peaches with the International Icon Award, and Peaches was in the house too. And that was a beautiful, iconic moment of the two of you meeting together again.
yeah.
How did you feel about the experience?
It was great. I mean, she's such a sweetheart and she's such an amazing artist. And I love everything she does.
I
And
love
she's
what you just said. She's a sweetheart, and honestly, you have the persona of the performer, and then you have the person. And she was doing the documentary in the little chapel at Hart House, and I walked in and she wasn't dressed or anything yet. I'm like imagining first thing I'm gonna see Peaches is this big presence with all the makeup and everything. And I was like, "Where's Peaches?" And I'm like, she was standing in front of me. I was like, "Where's Peaches?" And
yeah,
Peaches, and I fell in love with that night with her, introducing me to her mom. When we said we're gonna get her a hotel room, she said she'd prefer to stay with her mom. I was like, that's my kind of people. That's all the family love and whatever. So yeah, she's absolutely a genuine, very authentic person.
yeah, yeah. Her mom is great. And I know her brother because he lives here.
In LA, cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
I've
cool.
met,
So you know the whole family.
I met the whole family. Yeah, I've partied with the whole family.
Cool, cool, cool. Community matters to you, and I like that. Cool. We're gonna take another break and come back to talk a bit about Carol and personal life and some cool questions. Don't go anywhere. All right, so we are back with Carol, and you recently moved back to LA?
Yes,
Okay.
it was like a last ditch attempt to find an apartment. I've been living in New York and it's impossible to find an apartment there. So my
There was a
best
couple
friend,
of changes back because I remember at some point I think I read that Carol no longer wants to live in LA, so you went to New York, and
well,
then
yeah, I
yeah.
prefer to live in New York, but
Oh, you prefer New York? Okay,
apartments are insanely expensive. And
that makes sense.
if I found apartments that I like, but then you're competing with trust fund kids and then people bid the rents up. It's
Oh, really?
insane. Yeah, so my best friend said, just go to LA because
Mhm.
you'll find a place there. And I found a place in 2 weeks.
Wouldn't there be more opportunities in LA than New York, or no?
Well, I mean, I prefer to be in New York because of the musical that we're trying to
Oh,
get
right, right. Be
happening.
more hometown.
But there might, there's opportunities here too. It doesn't really matter.
No plans on ever coming back to live in Toronto?
No.
That's a big no. Cool. I hope the move is wonderful for you, and I hope you settle in. We do a bit of a quick questions and answers game to close the show. It's a kind of a get to know you. Your favorite color?
Red.
Red? I like that. Your favorite flower?
I kind of like amaryllis.
Oh, beautiful choice. Cool. What season of the year you love most?
Spring.
Yeah, Spain. Cool. What's your idea of a perfect vacation and also your favorite place you traveled to? How you've seen?
Probably, I'm gonna say Italy.
You've been to Italy? Cool.
Yeah.
That's my dream
Um,
vacation.
yeah, I mean, I was there. My best friend lives there. She lives in a small town called Lucca, which is
Oh, wow.
uh medieval.
Oh my
Uh,
God, stop. A small Italian town. That sounds lovely.
so yeah, I just want to see all of Italy. I also love Spain. I've been to Spain a couple of
Yeah,
times and it's gorgeous.
cool. Yeah, it's
So
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 it's historical. It seems like you're drawn to history or smaller or European look kind of thing. Yeah,
yeah, I mean, I've been to London a lot and Paris and all those places and Rome, but I want to just see the smaller towns in
I love that.
those
Yeah,
cities.
cool. Um, any show on TV you watched recently that you're hooked on and recommend?
Um, Fellow travelers.
I've heard great things about it. I haven't seen anything yet.
Well, it just made me cry, but it was about,
That's what I'm hearing, people sobbing and saying, bring out the Kleenex.
well, because it reminded me of my brother because, he died of AIDS, but it's about two men in the 50s who have this amazing romance that lasts to the 80s.
Okay.
And, I think it's a historically great thing for queer kids to see because they don't know this history about, I mean, where everybody's still getting exploited, but it really started in the 50s by these closeted guys like Harry Cohn, who was a lawyer, and
Now I'm really
uh
looking forward to seeing it. Actually, I've been on a binge of all stuff like that. I just recently bought Longtime Companion, and the band played on.
oh
So
right,
yeah, I want to dig into the band played on. So yeah, it's a time of our community's history that we need to be aware of, and we need to learn of and learn.
yeah,
I guess, yeah.
and I'm very excited to see Swans about Truman Capote, hung around with all these society babes in the I don't know, 70s, 80s, and then he dished about them and
Okay.
they all booted, they were like he was dead to them after that. So I'm really excited to see
Did
that
that one? Cool. All right.
with a lot of great actresses.
Cool. Cool. I'll check that out too. Your favorite cuisine?
Oh God, that's a difficult one. I like
That's it. Seriously?
everything.
I thought that was the easiest one.
No, I mean, because I like everything. I
You like
really
food?
like,
Yeah. See, you know what? I get it now because to me, it would be a difficult one because I love food. Just give me
yeah, I
good
love
food.
food. I love Italian, but I love Mexican,
French,
um,
sushi.
French, Thai food. I love it all. So I can't I
Beautiful.
can't pick one.
And I like that actually. The fact that you can't pick one is a beautiful testament to the fact that you really enjoy depending on on the cuisine. Do you cook?
Yes, I do.
What's your best dish that no one should miss from us?
I don't know. I'm pretty good at um stews and soups and things.
Oh, nice.
Like I like cooking something and having it in a pot and then like, you can eat off it for 3 days or something.
That sounds lovely today because it's freaking freezing here in Toronto.
It's raining here. It gets very damp here and it's damp
Isn't
and
it?
rainy
Okay.
here. Yeah.
Well, everyone, to Carol's home for some stew. Let's go. They're all invited to LA. Well, okay, I don't know if that applies considering we both like all foods. What's one food you've tried but you would never eat again?
Okra.
Really? Okay, I've been experimenting with it lately. I hated it when mom used to make it when we were kids, slimy and whatever. But now
Yeah.
finding I'm finding other ways to do with it. But yeah, cool. I get why you may not like it. Um, what's the ideal way you like to spend a wide open weekend? You have nothing to do.
Um, Going to the beach, going to see art, going to dinner.
Nice, nice, relaxing stuff.
Yeah.
If you could have dinner with anybody in the world from across history, who would it be and why? Cliche
Oh,
question.
oh my God. Uh, can I just pick a rock star?
Sure can, of course.
Probably David Bowie, even though
Beautiful.
I have met him and we did tour with him, but I would love to
I
eat
like
dinner with him and really, really have a
would that be the
conversation with him.
same answer if alive or past and money no issue? What musician would you like to see perform live?
I haven't seen Beyonce yet, and I would like to see her.
There you go. All right, Beyonce, if you're listening, send Carole a ticket. What's the best advice you've ever received?
The advice I give every other artist, which is be true to yourself, don't listen to people.
I love it. Cool, thank you. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Flight.
Oh, I like that. I'll make it easy to travel for you.
Yeah. Woo!
Yeah, you just put on your cape and go anywhere.
Yeah.
What's the best compliment you've ever received from someone that stuck with you?
That I'm very brave to do what I do.
I love that. Cool. And yes, you're
And you know who told me that? And I was
No.
shocked that she even knew who I was.
Huh?
Maya Angelou.
Wow. Wow.
I
That's
know.
a beautiful compliment, knowing now who it came from. And good for her for recognizing your bravery, because I think so. A job you would suck at.
Oh, anything in an office.
Oh, yeah.
Anything involving a computer in an office.
Yeah, there you go. Are you early or late?
I'm kind of in the middle.
Okay, me too. Pet peeves?
Stupid, uneducated people.
Thank you. And the one thing you love to see in someone that inspires you.
Joy.
Beautiful. Thank you. You're wonderful, and thank you for being on the show. That's our time for today.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thanks for having me.
You are awesome. Thank you. And everyone, keep watching. We still got a ton of new episodes coming up for the 10th anniversary season. And thank you to Carole Pope for being here today. And thank you for watching. You are all awesome. Love yourself always.